Okay. All right, so I will just jump right in here. What do you have to say about the state budget still in limbo and the holdups right now?
Well, I'm committed to working with anyone on either side of the aisle to make sure we've got a budget in on time, but it also has to make sense. The current proposal by the House Republicans actually is based on a lot of faulty estimates and inaccurate math that would cause us, if it were to go into effect, to have to lay off a quarter of the Department of State. Those are people that process licenses. Those are people that ensure that we're investigating complaints against unethical mechanics and the like. Our work, our day-to-day work to improve the lives of Michiganders would be dramatically impacted were this budget to pass, not to mention all the work we do to protect our elections. So I'm concerned about the budget, but we have proposed a similar change that would cut general funds that would enable us to fund the roads while also ensuring the basic services of our department continue. So I'm going to continue to sit down and collaborate and hope we can reach a deal by the end of the month, but the clock is ticking and we got to get moving.
It is ticking very, very quickly. Do you feel like House Republicans are being stubborn when it comes to their stance, and do you feel like Democrats are willing to kind of find some type of common ground?
I think there are vast more people who want to find a common ground than there are who are being obstructionist. And the reality is we can easily find a common ground because so much of our goal is similar: to basically cut wasteful spending, ensure we can fund things like road construction and public education, but to do so right and with ethics and integrity and honesty, and with an eye towards what's best for the people of Michigan all across our state. So I'm hopeful, but it's going to require us to put performative politics aside and just focus on getting things done, which I'm committed to doing, and I hope the House Republicans are as well.
And I know we missed the July deadline. So like you said, the clock is ticking.
Yeah.
Do you think that we can do this, or do you think that that deadline is going to approach and it's going to have more serious consequences?
Well, what I know is between now and the end of the month, we're going to be working overtime to have the conversations we need to have, and I know the governor is as well, to make sure we can reach a deal and get a budget in place by the end of the month. But we also have a plan if there is a shutdown, just as in 2019 when we had divided government and this emerged again. So I'm optimistic and hopeful, but also we plan for everything in our department to make sure we have the pieces in place for as long as possible if there is a shutdown, to keep the operations going and to keep the work going until an agreement can be reached.
Yeah, and again, just reiterate the biggest hang-ups that you think right now that are happening.
Well, certainly road funding is top of mind for a lot of folks. One of our challenges is the cuts that the House proposal makes to our department actually wouldn't give any more money to the roads. They're cuts to restricted funds that we can't use for anything else other than customer service and elections. So I think it's going to require all of us to just come to the table and see what we have that we can align on, and on the small number of things that we disagree on, try to find an agreement, certainly ensuring access to well-paying jobs, reducing the cost of living, making life more affordable for Michiganders has to be top of mind for everyone leading in state government. Right now, it certainly is top of mind for me.
Yeah. And you talked about this. This hasn't happened, a government shutdown, since 2019. Is that what you had just mentioned?
We had divided government in 2019, and we were prepared at this same stage when a budget still hadn't been reached. We were preparing for a potential shutdown. Fortunately, a budget agreement was reached before the end of the month in 2019. But there have been times throughout our state's history where things have come down to the wire, particularly in divided government, where you have lots of opinions and lots of different visions, competing visions for the state. But we always do manage to come together and get it done, and I hope and expect that this year will be no different.
Yeah, and you said are preparing right now in case, we hope that there isn't that shutdown, but you are prepared. Tell us what that plan would be and what things would look like for Michiganders if there was a shutdown.
Well, it means two things. Within our department, first, we look to see who are the essential employees. How do we make sure the website keeps running? That, for the most part, a lot of our operations, like our call center, can keep taking calls. That our self-service stations can keep operating in grocery stores around the state so people can continue to renew their licenses when they expire. Things like that we'll be working to plan for and make decisions on. But the other side of things is that there's this right now, people are feeling very anxious for a lot of different reasons. Cuts to Medicaid at the federal level, uncertainty about education funding here in the state. And the thing that gets under my skin the most is at a time when we should be trying to ease those anxieties and provide clear, consistent leadership. We're not seeing that from House Republicans in this proposal. And so the other thing we're focused on is when employees and Michiganders call us and express their anxiety about what's going to happen. We still don't have a budget, not to mention how people are feeling in schools and hospitals across the state, we try to ease those concerns, develop a plan, reinforce in this moment our commitment to getting things done, but also to continue to plan out ahead as much as possible to keep things consistent as much as we can until we get a budget through.
Are you concerned about a shutdown?
Oh yes, anytime we don't have a budget done, I'm concerned about a shutdown, and we have to be preparing and planning for it. But again, this isn't new. I think it's unfortunately part of sometimes the process when you get to down to the wire. And you know, for me, being on the floor of the House, of the Senate, to talk with folks and be in Lansing this week to continue to have conversations about how we can reach an agreement. That's what we need to focus on this moment, while also giving Michiganders the confidence that we're committed to getting things done. We're committed to ensuring that life is more affordable and that we pass a budget that makes life more affordable, and to not give up, to be persistent in achieving those goals. And hopefully we'll get that goal done, we'll get that budget done by the deadline of September 30th.
You're running for governor.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise. What sets you apart from your other candidates running against you?
Well, among many things, I'm actually running a state agency, one of the largest in our state, and we've done it effectively, efficiently, cutting wasteful spending and actually delivering results for Michiganders. And that's exactly what Michigan citizens want from every aspect of our government, from our Department of Health and Human Services to our Department of Economic Development. So I'm committed to just making sure that government is working well, saving people time and money, making their lives easier, and then getting out of the way. I'm also the only candidate in this race on any side that has run for office statewide multiple times and has won multiple times. From Democrats, Republicans, and independents alike, we've built a coalition of support, can time and time again, and then govern effectively as a result. And so I'm doing that now as a candidate for governor, and hope to ensure we can bring people together, unite around the things we agree upon, I hope, which is that we have to make the cost of living more affordable for every Michigander. We have to address insecurities around access to health care and strong public education. And above all, we have to invest in an economy that will grow and create more well-paying jobs in the middle class so that everyone has an opportunity to thrive in our state. As a mom of a 9-year-old kid who's in 10 years going to be deciding his future, I'm urgently committed to making sure Michigan is the best place for him and all of our loved ones to call home.
Should we have her say that again? I know that part was a little loud. Okay. Did you want to, you were talking about your 9-year-old son.
As a mom of a 9-year-old little boy who in 10 years is going to be deciding whether he chooses to make Michigan his home, I come to this with a sense of urgency and a recognition that it's all hands on deck. We've got to make Michigan the best place for all of our loved ones to call home, and do so in a way that makes them happy and healthy and safe, and choose to stay nearby.
There we go. I think we're okay. I know one of our cars went by, but it's okay.
Okay.
And then just the last thing, you really hit on a lot of these different goals that you have. What would you say the top 3 goals, if you were elected governor, what would those 3 be?
Well, number one is affordability, making sure that whether it's buying a home in the community you want to live in, or paying to heat that home, or the rising cost of water in that home, that Michiganders can afford to meet their needs, and that we're addressing the rising cost of living in the state by creating more well-paying jobs that will grow our economy, grow our middle class, and above all, make life more affordable for every Michigander. Second is our schools. As I'm a mom of a 9-year-old, I'm also the daughter of 2 former special education teachers and an educator myself. It's first and foremost abundantly clear our schools need to do a better job of preparing our kids for the jobs of tomorrow, and investing in public education so that our schools can be among the best in the nation will be a top priority for me as governor as well. And then finally, healthcare. Everywhere I go in this state, from West Michigan to the Upper Peninsula, the cost of healthcare and ensuring access to quality healthcare is critical for everyone at any age. So I want to work with our hospitals and as well as our Department of Health and Human Services to ensuring we're meeting the needs of Michiganders across our state, so that when you get sick, we're there to help you get healthy again and ensure you can thrive.
Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.